U7Buy provides the most convenient, fastest, and safest way to upgrade your team with numerous positive reviews and verified by top creators from different countries with 24/7 online customer support. Now you can enjoy an extra free coins for every order. Don't miss the opportunity for up to 4 million free coins. Use my code Inception for another 8% off. Alright guys, so today we have a new PC settings video. Every time Nvidia drops an update or EA drops an update for the game, I always feel like I'm back to square one when it comes to trying to get the game to be as playable as possible. I think this might be the last PC settings video that I create because for some reason I feel like I got it to a point where I can at least play it now, right? Every time I start up the game, I don't have to do like extra things to be able to play it, right? So I wanted to share this with you guys because I got this from a guy on Reddit. If this guy never made this, if he never replied to this one guy in the Reddit post, I think the majority of us would definitely be screwed, okay? So what's great about these settings is that you do have to play on a resolution of 1080p, right? As you guys know, I recently got a new computer to be able to create content, to be able to play the game on the PC. And it's insane that I can't play at the 4K resolution, in my opinion, because I can't find a setting for 4K resolution like I can with Call of Duty or Fortnite or Marvel Rivals. Like those games, zero issues for that. But this game, it's like I just can't get it to a point where I just don't stutter, right? It's just constant stutter on the moment I move to 1440, it's just like stutter for me. I don't know what it is. Like I've tried following other people's tutorials for how they do it on their game, and for me it's like I don't know if people know if their game is stuttering or not, or if it's not, then it's I don't know. I don't know what it is, because like I get stutters all the time, like no matter what setting video I follow. That sometimes works for some people, but for me it just never works. I don't know what it is. I've looked at many videos. There's videos where like a guy is doing 4, 5, 6 different things, and I'm still like, dude, I don't know what to do. I know it was frustrating me a lot. I was like, dude, I can't believe I'm getting a new PC and I'm still dealing with this issue. But this guy on Reddit, thank goodness for him, because I think this is the setting that I'm probably going to use in the future as well, because it just seems like the best cutoff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be talking about each individual thing that you're going to want to do. And then I'm going to try to find the Reddit post, because I don't think I saved it, but I did take a picture of it. And I'm going to try to link it for you guys so you guys can check it out, okay? Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is you are going to want to go to your display settings, right? So just right-click on your desktop, show more options, go to display settings, right? So I have 4 monitors just for my workload, right? 2 and 4 is basically duplicating the screen to my Elgato so I can game capture that. I have it set up so I can do console and PC pretty easily. It's just an HDMI switch, boom, and you're good to go, right? But basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn off HDR, right? I didn't have to do this because I think all of it is off by default for me, but just check your monitors, okay? So go to your HDR settings. Wow, you could already see over here that it's off. Yeah, right there, it's off, right? So if I go here, it's not even an option. Here, not even an option, right? So if I were to go to HDR, right, on this over here, you can see it's not supported, but I think the LG one that's over here on my left-hand side, this one right here, yeah, so the HDR is supported on this one, but it is still off, right? So that's the first thing that you're going to want to do. You're going to want to turn that off, right? The next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn off game mode. So I'm on the left-hand side over here, right? So while you're still in the setting, and it just says find a setting at the top left. What you do is you search game mode, right? And then you go to your game mode settings. So gaming game mode, right? I turn this off. This is what the guy said. To be honest, every time I try turning it on, it doesn't help my games for some reason, right? So optimize your PC for play by turning off things in the background. I have it off, right? There's a lot of people on the forums even before I saw this specific post, they say to turn it off. So that ends up being the thing that works out the most for me personally, right? So just turn that off for the game mode settings. So with this specifically, I might not be like super PC tech savvy, but I think I'm going to explain it maybe properly. So what you want to do is over here, you may want to just set your default to performance mode, right? And what I think happens is that it's going to set your global settings to be based off of performance mode. So that what you do afterwards is you go into your program settings and then you search EA Sports FC25, and then you are going to change the individual settings from the performance mode, I guess, that you already put. That's what I did, right? So I put performance mode first, and then I went into the game, and then I set the specific things to be different, right? Okay, so you can copy all this that you see here from the defaults because it might be different for you. You might have to change like a few things here and there, but that's what works for me when I switch it to performance mode, right? So the 4 things that you're going to want to change, and thank goodness it's not like a lot of them, right, is that your power management mode is going to be prefer maximum performance. Your texture filtering anisotropic sample optimization is going to be on. Your texture filtering quality is going to be on high performance. And then your trilinear optimization is also going to be set to on. Okay. So with all of that being said, right, if I go to my G-Sync settings, I do not have it enabled. Okay. There are some people that when they have this enabled, it works for them. I'm just making a video of what works for me, and I'm probably not going to change it because for me, I just want to get the game to a point where it's playable, because you can tell that if you can go a higher frame rate, the game is like, you could tell that there's like a fast like thing to it, but it's just stuttering the whole time. Like the frame time is not good. And I'm going to show you guys that here in a bit, right? But yeah, if you check all your monitors, right, all disabled, right? I do not have it enabled for my monitors. I didn't really feel the need to, right? But like I said, manage 3D settings, right? You initially went here, you initially did performance mode. I think it changes the defaults of your global settings over here. And then once that happens, program settings, and then change those 4 individual things, right? So that is from the Nvidia setting side in the actual settings over here, right? So let's go into the actual game now. Servers are offline, boys. I think it's offline for like 7 hours in the morning, so kind of crazy. Okay, so even though we have a really nice computer, which I needed to upgrade anyways because my old one for content creation was not really cutting it. So it's still worth the investment, but it's insane that you have to do this for this game because it's just really poorly optimized, okay? For me personally, I don't know, I can't figure out the higher resolutions for some reason, right? Basically, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into your game settings. You can, if you want to, change the visual stuff. Like there's some things that have like the playstyle indicator that is on, right? And some people say that that might like cause lag in the game and stuff too. Again, you can totally put that stuff on or off if you really want to. It's really up to you, right? If you notice that it's making your game lag, then just turn it off. But I haven't really like messed with this too much. I just turn certain things off so that it doesn't really bother me when I'm like looking at it, right? But yeah, the more important thing here is when you go into your display settings, right? So you're gonna see these settings, you're gonna be like, what am I looking at? But I'm telling you, this fixed it for me. It's so weird, okay? Okay, so your resolution is 1920 1080. If you have a 1440 or a 4K monitor, just downgrade it to 1080p. I'm putting it to a point where it's playable for you guys. If you guys find a setting where I can play at 4K resolution, where my game does not stutter, my game does not lag, by all means, please let me know, okay? Because this is the only setting that I found that made it work for me. And it's insane because some of these things I wouldn't have thought of, okay? The one setting that people say to turn off, I have to turn on. I have to turn on, okay? But look, display mode is on full screen, okay? Refresh rate is on 120 hertz, not 144. Mine is a 144 hertz monitor, but I'm changing it to 120 hertz, okay? Frame rate, no limit on frame rate, because your vertical sync is going to lock the frame rate to the refresh rate. So because my refresh rate is set to 120, I am locking that frame rate to be 120, okay? Some people will say like, oh, this causes lag, this and that, causes delay. Brother, you can't, I can't play this game on the stutter. And I'm not noticing delay, I'm noticing smoothness. Smoothness for me is the most important thing, right? Is for me to be able to play the game, right? Because if I'm starting the whole time, it's not a proper game to play. Dynamic resolution scale. Output resolution will change on the fly to improve performance. We set that to on, okay? Cutscene quality, full frame rate. Everything else is off. Low, low, off, low, off, low, off, low, off. Now, if you guys watched one of my previous PC settings video, you guys will know that I have an overlay that I have made, right? So this overlay, the reason why it's like that, like super small, is because my computer, the settings for Riva Tuner, right, which is what I use in the background to be able to look at my current stats and stuff, that sets to 4K resolution. If I play other games, that's going to change to 4K. So the only reason why I don't change how big that looks is because of that. So let me just show you guys an example, right? Okay, so I put the screen to be bigger for you guys here so you guys can actually see it. But you could see the main important things. Like some of the settings I'll have to change in the overlay because some of the percentages, like I don't need CPU to tell me the same thing twice, right? But this is just a custom overlay that I created to be able to see the FPS counter and the frame time. The reason why it was really important for me to do this was because I noticed that EA had servers offline. EA had an inconsistency with me locking the frame rates. For some reason, it just didn't work properly. For some reason, the game is being like really weird right now. Like there's more of a squiggly on it. Not supposed to, because it's supposed to be fine, to be honest with you. Maybe it's because I made the overlay bigger, to be honest. Let me see if that's actually the case. I'm gonna put the overlay small again. Yeah, it was because I made the overlay bigger. That's funny. So yeah, you can see the top left still with the well, still doing the same thing, but you can see that the frame time is basically straight, right? And that's the important thing for this game to play well, because here's the thing, if I lower FPS, like even when I was on 90, I was like, I'm still feeling too much delay. But 120, like I play 120 cap on a lot of different games and I still get the proper responsiveness from what the game is supposed to be. Some games are like that. Like some games, like you'll play at 144 hertz, you'll cap your FPS to 120 just so that your experience of playing the game is responsive but also smooth. That frame time from the overlay that I created, it allows me to see how smooth the game is, right? If it's doing too many little squigglies, I already know that I'm cooked, right? So what you could do is you can kind of go into a game. This you can actually do now. Before I had to go into the online to actually see like what was up. But now I can just like kind of go into kickoff and test it from here, right? And I can show you guys the gameplay itself. I'm sure some of you guys watch the reviews and you're like, oh, there's a little bit of a stutter on the screen. But look, this is all smooth now, right? There's no stutter at all. And look at the frame time at the top left, right? From the overlay that I created. So you definitely need to have some sort of like overlay on your screen to see, first of all, if you're actually on 120 FPS, which you should be if you actually put the proper settings on that we've mentioned. But yeah, the only thing right now is like on my screen, the 1080p just looks a little bit more grainy, but it's only because I'm playing on a 4K monitor and I'm downgrading my resolution. Technically speaking, if I really wanted to, I could just use my 1080p monitors and the game will look perfectly fine, right? But the reason why I'm not doing that is because I would have to change my settings for my Elgato, even though my other games run perfectly fine on 4K resolution. It's just this game that I got to do 1080p for, so I'm not going to do all that just to make the game look nicer, basically, right? But you can see here, no stutter, the game is perfectly smooth, and 120 FPS is going to put me to a point where the game is still going to feel responsive. If I want to do a fake shot, a driven, touch, driven, upwards, touch, boom, right? All of this on console, like this game on console, I'm surprised it even has an audience on console because it's genuinely complete trash over there. Like I played one game for the Michael Owen SBC, and I'm like, I don't know how people play in this. It's completely trash, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it for the settings. Like, shout out to this guy on Reddit, because if it wasn't for his post replying to a guy, I don't know if I'd be able to figure this out, to be honest. Like this setting that I have here for this game, I think I'm going to rock this setting for future iterations of this game. Like the full screen, the 120 hertz, the no limit on FPS, but then giving vertical sync and dynamic resolution scale. Like people were saying that this would cause more delay, and I'm like, brother, I'm playing the game and I'm able to play at 120 FPS and it's smooth. Look at this. It's smooth. I'm not stuttering like crazy, right? I can play the game, do a tackle. switch, look, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Like, that's all I wanted, you know? So, trust me, I honestly, the new PC still helps 100%, right? Just so I can get that, like, consistency. But, like, dude, even on my old computer, I could not... Brother, my old computer, I was like, this computer, I cannot for the life of me figure out a setting for me to be able to play at such a low resolution. But it's a 2080 Ti, and a 2080 Ti is perfectly fine to run 1080p resolution on all the games that I play, right? So it was perfect because I was able to basically fix it for that computer as well, right? Because I was, like I said, it's just 120 hertz. Cap the FPS from like the dynamic, well, not dynamic resolution scale, that's different, but from the sync in game, which is insane, right? This sync in game, the vertical sync, and then you turn this on, and it's just like everything works now. And that's pretty much it, man. So you can see at the top left, when I'm in the menus, it's a little bit more laggy, but when I go back into the game, right, smoother. You could tell because I'm on full the cutscene part, right? So the cutscene part over here, so that the game still looks smooth, right? Full frame rate on the cutscene quality, it still looks fine, right? It's not really lagging from these guys like celebrating and stuff. But look, I go back into the game, right? I could still play, tackle, driven, pass, boom, go in, right? The thing that I don't understand when I watch people's settings videos, right, is that some people don't cap their FPS. And I don't know how they can do that, because if I don't cap my FPS, like somehow to 120, I just get stutters. It's impossible for me to play without it. For some people, you know, they follow the settings and it works for them, and that's amazing. Hey, listen, if you can find a setting where you guys can play at a higher resolution and you get the max FPS and all that kind of stuff, then that's amazing. I'm super happy for you. But for me, guys, like this guy on Reddit literally saved my life. Like I can green time strikes, I can like defend properly as much as possible, because you guys know how the online gameplay is in this game, right? But I'm just happy that I got it to a point where it's like playable now, right? I don't have to do stupid things where it's like, oh, I put it to 120 FPS, but then I have to play on 90 because 120 is lagging. 120 was lagging before because I was on 4K resolution. It was really, really stupid, right? But that's pretty much it, man. Hopefully this video helps you guys out. I didn't have to change anything else. And I'm probably going to use these settings for the future. Like I don't think for the rest of this year you're going to see a new settings video unless Nvidia messes it up again. I will literally add that guy on Reddit as a friend to see what he changes to, just so that I can play this game normally. I hope nothing changes. I hope when they drop patches, because there was that one patch in the beginning of the year. It was like the second or third patch that they did for PC where it messed everything up completely. It was the folder, the AC folder, that was making everything lag. But now it's like, hey, I don't have to do any of that. It's like it works. So yeah, hopefully this helps you guys out. If you have a higher resolution or a higher computer, I would just recommend lowering it if you want to find it to a point where you can actually play the game. That's all I can help you guys out with, man. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys. I found the Reddit post, so I'm gonna I'll leave a link for you guys down below for you guys to go check out. Okay, but you'll see the guys here saying like if they play with anything above 1080p, like they just get the stutters, right? It's this guy right here specifically. This is the picture that I took. Train Reddies or Reddies. Me and my buddy used Kickoff to optimize, just kept pausing and changing one setting at a time till it was buttery smooth. No stutters, no input lag, no regrets leaving PS5 for PC 2 weeks ago. Well, you have to, because it's a miracle that that game even has an audience on the console, which is the majority of people, because it's unplayable, and EA should be ashamed of themselves. I'm on 5800X CPU, 4060 OC GPU, 32 gigabytes of RAM, M2 NVMe drive, can share, we change, etc. Blah blah blah. So this guy right here, all of this stuff right here, literally. Well, it is. That's a fact, but in this game, yeah. So check out this Reddit post. Be sure to say thank you to him, because without this guy's settings, I think I would have been cooked for the whole for the rest of the year, because I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't. I appreciate all the YouTubers and stuff helping me, man. I do appreciate you guys sending me your settings stuff and trying to help me out. It just none of the stuff that you sent me worked, and I hope you don't take offense to it. It just never worked, okay? But this is where it works for me. And that's it. That's all I wanted it to get to, because I need to be able to create content. as much as I can because they're not really releasing much this year. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys for the next one, okay? Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.